Hello everyone, and today, so in this particular class, I'm going to talk about the things which you need to keep in your resume and how to ask, what type of questions you may expect from that resume and how to answer them. We'll see. I have already placed this particular resumes in this particular location. That is your student backup 84. I have already kept it. So it's a sample CV is the folder which you already have it. So let me just go through opening a fresher CV first. So as you want to apply for a fresher job into the market with this particular CV, you can go for it. So you need to prepare, you take the same, this one, this document as it is for your reference, and you enter your name and your email ID and your mobile number. You try to write it. Knowledge summary, you'll try to write it. So you are good at extracting data from external sources and developing ADAM data sets for using SAS 9.4. Whatever the raw data client has shared with you, the data you will connect it by using a libname statement. You'll take the data from there instead of extracting, taking a client data or something like that. Instead of writing extracting, you try to write it as a taking a client data from external sources and connecting that using libname statement. Using SAS 9.4, you can write it this line. And experience in creating ADAM data sets. Instead of saying experience, as you, this is a fresher CV, you say that it's a, I have a training experience. I can say I have trained on creating of ADAM. So instead of experience, you remove it. So you say that it is an I have trained on creating ADAM data sets, tables, listings, reports, and summary according to the statistical analysis plans. Okay, and as well as mock shells you will use it to creating a tables, listings and figures to be generated. SAP you will use to create ADAM data sets. And as one more is writing it here called a spec. So you are using analysis data set specification to create an ADAM data sets. So you can just tell that. So you have a trained on SAS base. Okay, wherever it is experience. So try to write it as a what I can say that it's a training experience only. Okay, so base SAS macros, SAS ODS, SAS SQL with using Windows only. You try to write it as it is a fresher. Nobody is going to ask you anything. You just write it SAS SQL with in a Windows. So you have used, you know, the SAS macros and all. And I have worked on creating a data sets domains like ADSL domain. I have worked on ADLB. So don't go and mess up with mini data sets. What I suggest you is here, go for ADSL, ADLB, ADVS, and ADMH. Easy and all, don't go for it. ADMH and ADAE is the only data sets I have created from SDTM datasets. So it is not it is ADAM dataset, not SDTM. So it is, I'm writing ADAM datasets. I have working experience. That means I have a project. I have done a small project as maybe dummy project on creating ADSL, ADLB, ADVS, ADMG, ADMH, not G. ADMH. That means medical history. You have done that, and ADAE, and so you have worked on this particular data sets only. You try to keep that. So what I can say that is it is more appropriate according to your requirement. So you just try to talk that. So because when it is a fresher CV, it should not feel that okay, they're just faking something. So you try to write a clear cut details which you get the trained. So which you have completed the training. Only try to just stick to it. So ADSL, ADLB, ADVS, ADMH, ADAE and all. So you have worked on creating ADAM data sets. Do the same thing. Okay. So you try to write it instead of this. You write it one more. Worked on. Okay. So worked on STDM domains. Okay. So you try to write it. Another line saying it. STDM domains like so instead of ADSL you try to write it DM you have worked on, and LB you have worked on, and you have worked on VS, and you have worked on MH. Okay, and A. Only these data sets I have worked on from SDTM domains. STDM. Okay, so you can just write it like that. And we're coming to here. It's SDTM, right? STD. Study Data Tabulation Model. So SDTM. Okay, so now we just done with it. So now we'll just go for another one is reviewing the SAP shells from programming perspective of the studies. Review and all, don't write it because you are not reviewing anything. You are a fresher level thing. You can't able to review anything. You remove this piece of code. So then it's an yellow color one, which I have selected this one. You remove it. Experience in data manipulation procedures such as SAS formats, informats, merges, append instead of append. So append we will not use much. To try to remove it. Okay, so proc data sets, proc sort, proc transpose, proc means, proc safety and efficacy reports creation. It is written. Don't write it. Just limited yourself to only safety reports only, because efficacy after 5 to 6 years experience only, at least they are expecting a little bit of efficacy data set creations and efficacy reports creation they'll expect from you. For time being, they'll not expect that much of efficacy programming experience. You try stick to your ground level, saying it, I have worked on and I have got exposure. Even that particular ADSL, LB, VS, MH, and ADAE all are related to your safety domains only. Our safety reports creation only you have been participated on it. So try telling that. So I've worked on only that. And the next one is experience in validating Adam data sets and listings and with proc compare procedure. Yes, you have worked on, you worked as a role like a, what I can say that, comparing of one data set with another data set. So as you are the developer, you have developed one thing, and client side there is one more programmer is there, he has developed something. We compare the both results. I also created the same data sets using the spec. You also created the same data set using a spec. The final data sets we try to compare it by using a procedure called proc compare procedure to comparing of your data sets. Sometimes the listings also, the listings very small ones, we can easily compare, putting the value side by side and comparing with our data set ready. But the thing is, when it is in a huge quantity of the listings, we can't able to compare the two data sets side by side, maybe like that, because we have around 20,000 records in one listing, another 20,000 records you created. You want to compare all these manually, it is not possible. We try to write a proc compare procedure before passing that particular data set to your proc report in your listing. We'll ask the developer to share that particular data set with us. As you are a validator, you compare the both data sets together and you see that where it's going mistakes, and that you can able to identify it. The validation means you are trying to use a proc compare procedures to comparing the existing data set values with your validated, what I can say that your job is validation. You'll compare these both results. So you will do a validation of tables also. How you do the validation of table? Imagine the client, maybe the developer has done the table generations by using age, n, mean, median, standard deviation, minimum, maximum they have created, and the table is ready. How you can validate it? You will also write a piece of code saying it proc means data equal to a dataset name, and then dataset name, and after that run it, and you try to generate it. You will not use any transposes and all those stuff, you won't do. You will just cross compare with that particular proc means results. What you are getting is right or wrong. Is the title according to the mark shell is appearing or not? Is that particular footnote is appearing or not? Is there any truncations in the footnote or not? And apart from that, is the decimal places are nicely mentioned or not? Because mean they mentioned it one decimal, standard deviation with the two decimals, is it properly following or not? Okay, all those things according to the spec, it's already, that is, you according to the mark shells they are following or not, you just check that. And apart from that, having excellent and commanding procedures reporting of various SAS procedures, like, okay, so don't use as a proc print, because we never use a proc print in your real time. So try to just avoid it and writing a program saying it as a procedure like proc report, proc means, proc frequency. Writing a proc means one more time, it's not required. So transpose, only these things I have experience on it. You try to mention that one. So good knowledge on clinical trials of different phases like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And everyone, you must be aware of A to Z terminologies what you used in clinical trials. Go to our website at Great Online Training. There, go to Great Online Training web page / blog. You just go for it. Then, so here A to Z terminology used in clinical trial. This is very much important. They'll ask you something called, tell me a definition for a baseline. Tell me what is adverse event. Okay. Tell me something like what is CRF, case reported form means what. So tell me something. They'll try to ask you, and as well as phases, right? You comes to the A, H, G, H, I, K, L, M, N, O. P. You see that? What are the different phases? Phase 1 means what? Phase 2 means what? Phase 3 means what? Phase 4 means what? What is the different clinical trial phases? And you need to be thorough with it. This particular document, this A to Z, what I can say that a terminology, what we have it, it's very important for every fresher to just know those knowledge and terminologies and all. And apart from that, what I can say that I think mostly this is enough. All the terminologies you learn from here, so that you will get an idea what is SDTM, what is ADAM, what is TLFs, and apart from that, what is randomized patients means what. So one of the recent interview, one of my student attended for the Cognizant interview, they're clearly saying that they asked me for what is randomized subjects means what. So the 1 or 2 years of experience, 2 years of experience, the persons interview something like they'll try to ask you the definitions and all most of the times. So try to stick to it, and so just go through this. This particular page is very much helpful for the freshers. Even not only fresher, the experienced person also should be aware of what they're just speaking and all. So you'll get a complete picture. And we're coming to here. So the next one, this is about your training summary. Instead of writing some as a working experience, saying it, I have done a project, and within that, this is what my experience is. Try stick to this particular summary what you are writing. In your interview also try to mention it. Hi, this is Naidu. I'm what I can say that a fresher with a SAS with a certified SAS programmer, and I have completed my training. Don't mention the training institutes or anything. It's nobody required, and when you completed also not required. I'm a certified SAS programmer. You try talking to them like that. I'm a certified SAS programmer, and I have worked on creating of these data sets during my training. I have worked on creating of using of my SAS base and macros and SQL also have used. I have created a data sets like ADSL, ADLB, and ADMH and all. So the first 5 minutes time when they are just giving to you, so don't say that, hey, hi, this is Naidu, and stop there. No, you try to talk about your total experience, what you already know. Okay, whatever you already know, you try to give that. Until unless they are asking you to stop, you don't stop. You please continue with it. Once your summary they get to know, then they will frame themselves that what type of questions they need to ask. So this is very much important. The first few lines what you're writing as a summary, try to speak as it is in the your what I can CV only. Try to stick to that. But when you mention something in the CV, but when you don't know something, then it's very dangerous one. Okay, when you think that it is, I'm not confident enough on that one, so try not to put it in your resume itself. So your summaries should be very clear. The first at least 5 minutes of time talking about something like this only, so that they'll have a complete grip on it. So whenever they're just asking any questions. And the next one is you try to write it your bachelor's degree, whatever you have completed, and then followed by the SAS tools, and your certification also completed, you keep it. And the dummy project one, so instead of project one, dummy project one, what you have done, you try to mention it. What is your role on it, on the dummy project? So we have a team of, see, the dummy project is just hand over to 5 members. So one programmer, one person is as a lead programmer, or another 4 are support programmers like me as junior programmers. So the lead programmer is just assigning a work to us, what tables and what data sets and what SDTM data set, who is doing what and all, they have assigned to me. We are just working towards on it. So there is an Excel sheet of all the study tracker. So how many outputs need to be generated, how many data sets need to be generated, how many are SDTM, how many are ADAMS. First we will focus on SDTM data sets to creating the data, converting your raw data into SDTM data sets, and we'll take that SDTM data sets and creating all the according to the SDTM specification guidelines. So as spec is not written by me, my senior programmer has written that spec, and they'll give that spec to me to just generate this particular data sets ready. And once the data set is ready, we'll hand over to the senior programmer again, so that the senior programmer taking the next steps, whatever is required. Sometimes I worked in SDTM side as a development side, and sometimes I have worked as a validation. For validation, what I need is, I need a specification document, I need a CRF document, so is required to compare and see what the developer has done as right or wrong, to check it. I'll also develop the same data sets like a developer, but this data set we call it as a validation data set. Whenever the developer has finalized the data set in somewhere in your library's location, we'll take that data and we'll try to create our data also, and we'll try to compare this data set versus that data set by using a proc compare procedure. So where there is a mistakes, we'll try to identify. When you think that the derivation what you have done is correct, we'll try to rectify, we'll try to explain that why your lines of code is not wrong, not correct, or maybe why your lines of observations are mismatches with me. We'll try to have a discussion. We'll not share our codes, we'll try to share our thoughts only, why you are right or why I'm wrong. Only that discussion will happen, and based on that we'll come to an agreement. So there where we can see that who followed according to the spec, as I followed according to the spec, or you followed according to the spec. So based on that, so we'll try to stick to that results, and we'll make those changes whatever is required, and we will again ask them to rerun the program with all the changes and ask them to just send it to us, and again we'll do a validation, and then we'll freeze it there. So that is the play, that is how we generally working on validation sector, validation side, whenever they are just sending any reports to me. It can be a report, it can be a data set or anything. So you can see that the responsibilities also, it's already written like earlier, whatever is there. So it's the same, like a program for all the listings and tables, and according to the approved statistical analysis plan. It is not a statistical analysis plan, so it is called approved. It is going to be mock shells. Okay, so the program data listings and tables are according to the approved mock shells. You need to write it. Mock shells. Okay, so this is not required. Of course, statistical analysis plan is required only for creating a tables, not for this one. So excellent experience with you want to say, is it excellent you write it, or good you write it? That's enough. Okay, so good experience with TLFs and SAS code, SAS macro, SAS report and all, and Adams not required. So up to here you try to stick to it. As it is a fresher, try to stick morely into TLF generation only. Don't go for SDTMs, Adams and all. Don't go for it. Write and compare independent QC program to verify the output generations. Yes, you'll do that one also. So, and second one is proc freak. Proc means, and proc mixed. Don't write it because you are a fresher. Proc mixed means it is a statistical procedure used in a statistician with the statistician help. Even 10 years experienced person also, they'll not use that. So you don't go into that one. So that's enough. So proc transpose and other procedures and macros and identify. See, it's mostly like a summary only. The summary is combining of everything what you have done, you are keeping it. But individually on that project, what you have done, you are writing it. You are writing another one also, cardiovascular, another project. So here I have written a training, right? So here also you try to write it as a training. I think it's already then. So one is the vaccination project, a dummy project, and second one is a cardiovascular project. I have done that. Okay, so efficiently. So here SOP means standard operating procedure. SAP means standard analysis plan. Okay, that is statistical analysis plan, SAP. SOP means in every organization there are some trainings are there to follow certain guidelines, that we call it as SOPs. SOP means standard operating procedures. So the titles already mentioned here. It's a randomized multi-center. Randomized means, see, the definitions you need to know right now. It's a randomized means what? Multi-center means what? Double blind means what? Placebo means what? Controlled means what? Two arm means what? What is a crossover group means what? All these definitions you will get it from the document which I have already given. So you can get it from this document only. So to get an idea what to speak on that particular titles, what you have mentioned in your CV, so this one will be decided. So based on that particular document only. The document clearly tells that what is randomized, multi-center, double blind, what is single blind, what is double blind, what is placebo, what is active arm, what is placebo arm. So all these definitions you will get it. And So finally you will write it as same. So what you have done, it is just like a roles and responsibility. You can keep this particular CV as a 1 year 0 years experience, then in that time you will keep it as a training. When you are using the same CV for 1 or 2 years experience, don't mention it as a training. Okay, it's a working experience, you try to keep it, and then you close it with whatever the name, and you try to just mention your place and date, and as well as your number, sorry, your name, you type it here and save this as a PDF document and upload wherever it is possible. So this is a fresher or 1 to 2 years experience CV also, we can keep it. Okay, then you can apply it in the market. Any questions, anyone?
Sir, if we are keeping this as 1 to 2 year experience, we have to mention the place of work or something like company where we work?
Yeah, definitely you have to mention that. So you have to mention in the next line saying it, the designation. So the next one is the thing is, here you worked as a SAS programmer. Okay, and in which organization? So you need to mention that the organization name. So it can be Cognizant.
So that SAS programmer is the job title?
Job title, yes. So worked as a SAS programmer. So first you need to write it as a this line first. SAS programmer at Cognizant, and you need to write it the year. So 2022 to 2022 to, or maybe 2002 years only, right? 2022 to hyphen till today, till date, we can call it as it. Okay. So working for Cognizant, you need to mention that names here. Whatever the names you are taking it, the fake experience, right? Wherever you're taking it. So you need to mention those names here, and you need to mention the range.
Okay. Sir, I have one more doubt. Like wherever we will show experience, then if they are asking when you will be able to join or something, that time
so
should
that time you the minimum notice period, you have to tell that at least 2 months. Don't go beyond it, beyond less than that. Okay.
Okay.
So because 2 months is a notice period, when you are saying immediately means you are a fake guy. There is no doubt.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what. So we have to say that we can join only after 2 months, not
exactly
before
after 2 months only, because my notice period is 2 months. Okay. That's what. Don't tempt like, okay, tomorrow also I can join. Nobody is allowing you to relieving from the organization tomorrow itself if you done that interview today.
Correct. Yeah. Only freshers can say that directly.
Yes, only freshers can able to join. Yes, I'm a fresher as I'm not working, so I can join. So as soon as possible. Don't say tomorrow. So as soon as possible. So when your requirement is, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. And also one more thing, if they ask something about how much pay you prefer or something like that, what should be the answer as per the company procedure, or we should ask?
So you have to tell that what is generally the interviewers will not ask this question. Maybe the guy
later, the HR person.
So okay, the technical guy like me. So as I'm into an interview, what we do is we will not ask their salaries at all, because that is not my job. If within the same interview panel, the HR also in the place, then they'll ask you the question that what is your current CTC? Current CTC, when you are fresher, you will not have any current CTC or anything. But when you are 2 years experience, multiply with 2.5 years. That means 2.5 lakhs. 2 into 2.5 lakhs. So somewhere 4.5 or 4.6. I'm getting it something as my current CTC.
Experience into 2.5 years.
2.5 years. You try to make it.
Okay.
2 sometimes, if the organization name is very small, you try to keep 2 also, it will work. It's a 2 years experience. So if you are saying even 4 lakhs also, it will work. How much you expect means according to your company norms. You just leave it that for them.
Yeah. Okay.
Or to make it more stable, so you try to write it somewhere near to 6. Okay, asking is not a harm thing at all. Nearly 6 lakhs package I'm expecting on my next move. Something like that you try to. just speak about it.
Okay. Yes. And regarding experience, you are going to explain ahead, or?
Yeah, I'll go with it. So once the fresher level
Yeah,
stuff, any questions, then I'll just close here. Then I'll show you the experienced one.
Yes, please go ahead.
Any other questions on the fresher level CV, or maybe 1 or 2 years also same?
Sir, pressure, how much salary it will?
Fresher in India up to 4 lakhs or 5 lakhs they are giving, man.
Okay.
For experienced up to 6 lakhs, 6.5 we can ask. That's not an issue. With 1 year experience you are keeping in your CV, so you can ask.
Okay.
Sir, if we show experience of 1 to 2 years, so is there any chance they might go for any verification or thing?
Yes, they'll go for a verification. Even 1 year experience also they'll go for a verification. So some organizations, they will not ask for your PF accounts and all, but some organizations they will ask for your PF account also. Do you have a PF? So your straight answer is no, we are not eligible for PF in our organization. Okay, see, like a Cognizant or maybe big organization name you are keeping in your CV, so then they'll immediately catch, because all these big organizations have a standard database at somewhere, so they can easily check your CV or easily check your details. You can't keep the organization names like Cognizant, TCS, okay, and as well as another IQVIA. So these company names you can't keep it in your CV as a fake. They'll catch you easily, because you will not clear your background verification at all. But some organization like LabCorp, or maybe Novartis, or maybe some other organization like Cineos, so they'll not have that much of background verifications. So sometimes it is, you may get passed through. They also following something. Yeah, you may pass through sometimes. Okay. Whenever you are taking a fake experience at somewhere, ask them. They can generate a pay slips with bank statements ready with PF account also. So that more, what I can say, that stronger one. Okay, when you have
Is that required in US also, sir?
US not required. PF and all, so they'll not ask. The only thing is the existing company experience from someone should send a mail. See, generally in US, what happens, most of the organization, they do a background verification with a official email ID. So tell me your manager official email ID. Will try to send the details whether you have really worked or not. They'll try to cross check with it. Whatever the email ID you're providing of your official email ID to them, they'll just send a mail asking for more details about this particular person. So they'll ask some questions. We need to reply back. But the fresher level CV is this one. Meanwhile, you prepare your questions for tomorrow and come back and asking any type of questions. Let's see. So what to answer and all, we'll see one by one.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, actually, in my career, I have 3 years gap now. Shall
see,
I
is that
apply as
3 years gap can be covered. Okay. So with any consultancy who can offer you the fake experience for 3 years. So try to keep that experience and you can apply for it.
Okay. Actually, my previous salary is high. Actually, my package is 8 lakhs. Last I left my organization, my package is 8 lakhs. But 3 years experience means how much package I have to
you can get it 9.5 to until 12 lakhs you can get it. That's your range for 3 years experience.
Okay, but 3 years.
So what is your organization name? Last organization name?
Novartis.
Then why you need to just put a fake experience? You try to go for it. I have a Novartis experience with 3 years. So what I can say that I'm ready right now. So with the same salary, same package only you go. So then you will get it up to 9 to 12 lakhs of your package, man. Don't worry.
But I resigned my job in 2021.
2021 you have resigned because of your very serious
Health
issues at
issues.
your home, or maybe health issues. You are just redoing
sir.
it again. That's fine. Nobody is going to question on this one for a gap. So don't fall into unnecessary fake experience from the consultancies and all, because you have a valid reasons and valid job, organization name. Just go for it. Don't keep any fake.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whenever you're mentioning in your CV, no, so don't mention
Yes.
the year of working with Novartis. Don't mention that. That is the key point. If they're asking specially whether you're working or not working, that time let's see. Okay, why you wantedly telling that you are just mentioning it, organization name and the number of years we worked and all. Don't mention it. Okay, skip that. I'm working as a SAS programmer at Cognizant. That's it. Don't mention the end limit, so that no, at least the CV will be picked. So what happens, when you are saying end limit also as the 2022 only is my last date working with, that means you work from 2019 to 2022. And that means
Yes.
they'll get immediate question. The HR doesn't have that much of brain to just to pick up the CV and all. So they'll just stop there itself, not picking up, because they have seen your end limit there. So better not to mention it until unless the interview gets scheduled. Don't mention anywhere until unless they ask. Because sometimes you are good enough with your subject, they'll just offer you with the offer. Okay, so they'll not look for your gap and all. If you provide a valid reasons, okay, your interview went well, and at the last, so why you have a gap? Because I see that there is something is there in your CV. Maybe as you are saying, you haven't currently working. May know the reasons. If your reasons are proper and justified, nobody is going to stop you. They'll give a release offer letter to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir, if I place two projects as a fresher,
Yeah, dummy projects, madam. That's okay. It's a dummy one. That means
okay.
you have done something
Normally-
like you have done something like an internship, like a training of 6 months training. You have done it. First 3 months. First month is my just training. The next months are going to be 2 months is going to be for one project. Another 2 months is one other project. I have worked on creating of only these data sets.
Normally, how long will each project will run, sir?
Roughly 3 to 4 months only, madam, in real time.
Whatever the project it may be.
It's very bigger one may take up to 8 months and all, but max to max within a 5 months within limit only, madam.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, I'm sending the CV and I'm just giving it for your review. And meanwhile, you come back with the questions, but tomorrow, so we'll see about the experienced one. Okay, thank you. Bye all.
So tomorrow same time?
Yeah, same time, 8:30. After my class only, I'll try to use the same meeting link.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye everyone.